Hello everybody, it's time for another banner review for Legendary Heroes. I was meant to do this video way earlier, but I couldn't because Gamepedia was having a stroke. Turns out the focus page is completely dead. However, there was the page for the banner itself was already up, so I could actually get the things that I needed. I just had to enter the right URL. Hey, whatever. I don't fucking know why that was the case, but moving on. We're here to talk about Hector. Now, I know I'm not the first one to say this, I'm probably like the millionth one at this point. But why the fuck is this our third axe armored Hector? Jesus Christ! 3 armas, are you real? With that out of the way, let's talk about Ostia's Pulse because it has a lot of good points. Now, let's just say you're running 2 armored unit, right? 2 armored unit. You're running 2 whatever the fuck else. Okay, let's just say you're running Hector, Ira, Zelgius, and then some fucking blue, I don't know, Arden. Man. Arden doesn't really need it itself, but Zelgius and Ira are absolutely deadly. This extra cooldown basically makes so that Ira just procs Ragnalastra immediately, no problem. Straight up. On turn 1. Meaning, after you get your first Ragnalastra up, that's when Ira really picks up steam, so the fact that you have it from the get-go really makes it stupidly good. And the thing that really makes it that much better is the fact that at that point, Ira doesn't care if you have guard. She will spec your ass, and if you let her initiate on you, she most likely will hit you twice. And if she hits you twice, the second hit will proc the Ragnalastra again if she's running Slaying Edge, which she should. So, yeah, that just makes it ridiculous, doesn't it? Another example of things that really work is Steady Breath Zelgius. Get hit once, it procs immediately, Black Luna that is. If you tend to want to initiate on him so you can kill him before he procs it, because usually he lacks 1 charge. And if he has Quicken Pulse, you're kind of screwed. But the thing that remains on that is, unless you have Swordbreaker, you can't really bait, and even if you have Swordbreaker, you might not have enough speed, so you might just completely bypass it with Bullfighter. Like, for example, Lucas, get initiated on you have good chance of dying unless you stack a fuckload of death to take that Black Luna. It's kind of ridiculous just how strong it is, and that 1 extra charge just makes so that if you attack, you just eat Black Luna right in your face. And if you don't, well, you get hit and then proc Black Luna. In both cases, you have to one-shot the guy to kill him. So Ostia's Pulse is just really, really good. And I just realized I said Zelgius, Arden, Hector, and Ira, so it would not really work. Basically, just Naui, Ira, this Hector, and Zelgius. There you go. Whatever. So, yeah. Ostia's Pulse is no joke. Thankfully, if you're fighting in really high arena team, you don't necessarily will run into that many teams that are, like, not 4 armored unit. But, at the same time, it kind of depends, because as is, your score range is kind of screwed. 756 is the highest you can get, and that's with 2 plus 10 Hectors. Good fucking luck getting to find enemies that have that. At this point, I'm pretty sure they just use it and keep it to themselves, because, I mean, to put it at your defense is literally just throwing the advantage of having this. Because then everyone else can fight you at 756, And by the way, 756 is not hard to get to anymore. Fuck no. To give you an idea, 2 Hector, Grima, and Arden with the right IVs, the right sets, can go as high as 754 to 768 score-wise. Yes, this is fucking ridiculous. And I don't understand why their second fire hero is literally just the best character to score with. Period. Like, there's no reason to go for any fire hero beside Hector if you want score. None at all. Going for Ephraim? Why? You literally have like 20 less BST. It's ridiculous. It's kind of dumb in a way. I was really hoping for El Bindi to be the actual legendary hero, but because El Bindi actually has a really cool axe that you can make a lot of use of. And on the other hand, you have Hector, who's mostly used in armor emblem or mixed team with like very specific characters that really benefit from this special. Another character that really abused this, by the way, if you're curious, is, ironically enough, another Hector, LA Hector. LA Hector has double Wrath, and frankly, if you just have Ostia's Pulse, that makes so that Bonfire becomes a 1 cooldown. Bonfire usually is an extra 40 damage without anything buffing his death, which is absolutely retarded. And the fact that it's only 1 cooldown for the first fight means you get hit once and you proc it. You insta-kill the enemy. And if the enemy did enough damage to get you in Wrath range, you have insta-proc Bonfire for the rest of the fight. Yes, this is stupid beyond belief. And to give you an idea on how strong LA Hector is with Bonfire and Double Wrath, he can one-shot Zelgus. Maybe not every kit, but a majority of them. It's insane. To give you an idea, plus 10, if you have like 3 wards, you end up at like, what, 56 death? That's 48 damage burst every time you proc Bonfire. And you get it ready every start of turn. It's ridiculous how hard you hit with this guy. Like, I think I've made my point. The main problem with this, though, is that you're mostly an enemy phase unit that way. You do not really run Bold Fighter either. Not that Bold Fighter is really useful in that particular case, unless you want to have the double damage. But basically what it means is you're really bad enemy phase for the first time, and the second time, the second fight you're in Wrath range, so it's not a problem anymore. However, because of Ostia's Pulse, unless you're fighting someone with guard, you most likely one-shot the unit anyway, whatever happens. Especially since Hector has a super boon in attack, which means that he actually hits 42 attack, 58 attack with armads, 62 attack at plus 10, and it can still go higher with buffs. Yeah. So, yeah. It's pretty easy to say that this is ridiculous. But, what about the character himself? Well, let's go in comparison. If I'm being completely honest, Hector is completely outclassed by both of those units. Now, I know what all 3 of you are going to say. Well, no, the new Hector has a really good stat spread. A much better stat spread than LA Hector, right? That is true. That is completely true. However, slaying weapon in a meta where special are so important are absolutely insane. And the fact that it has Wrath on top of it, yeah, Berserk Armads is just so much stronger than Hector's Armads, which, by the way, I should have mentioned that, but I will mention that anyway when I'll be talking about Grima. Armads is basically built-in wary fighter as long as there's enough unit around them. Now, this is not bad per se, but this is not good either. Reason being, his speed is so low. Like, it is so low. And you do not want speed minus as a result. If you go speed minus, you are shooting yourself in the foot. I'll explain that a bit later, but essentially LA Hector is so strong with Bonfire, he can literally kill anything in tier 20. Very easily, very commendably. It's insane. That version of Hector is just brutal. To give you an idea, if he procs Bonfire on that Hector, okay, and both of them are plus 0, let's see, with attack plus, that's 58 attack, that's 17 attack plus 40 damage, he dead, 10 damage overkill. That means even if Hector wasn't merged, fighting Hector plus 10, Hector would die from LA Hector. You get the idea of how much firepower Berserk Harmans is. I wouldn't say it's the strongest weapon we've got yet, but it's damn near one of the best of them. Like, okay, what other character could have used it? Probably Ira, but Ira would prefer Nameless Blade over this, because don't need two charge when your special is only 1. But yeah, anyway. Let's move on to why I consider speed minus to be a bad bane for Hector, which of course I had to get myself. Grima. Grima can actually go for 2 banes. And you could say 3 unless you realize about score. Res minus is bad for him because of score. Yes, you don't fight too many dragons, you don't fight too many res type units if you score well in arena. But the fact that it's a super bane means that you get kicked out of the 175 score club, which means you score less overall. This is a problem. So, yeah, you have 2 banes, speed or HP. See, both are pretty much as valid as one another. In my opinion. Yes, speed minus is a bit better, but HP minus doesn't really hurt any matchup. And speed minus does hurt a matchup. It hurts the Hector matchup, ironically. Because if Grima is neutral speed with bolt fire, okay? And Hector is speed minus, there's a 4 speed gap. In simple term, this basically means if your Hector is plus 9, not plus 10, you're getting doubled through his axe. That's why speed minus is bad, and not to mention like the higher scoring teams also tend to run either Grima or Fjorm. Because Grima is so easy to get merges on. She's been the legendary unit of the month for like the past few months. So a lot of people plus 10 her because it's just so... I don't want to say cheap because it's not really cheap, but it's like... She's always been there. So it's really easy for them, while Ike would be like every 2 months. And speaking of that, did you guys know we're going to have Grima on the Legendary banner for the next 3 months as well? Ooh, isn't that great? The reason why I say this is because 100% sure the next Legendary hero is blue. The banner after that, the next Legendary is red. We know this. There is a vacant spot for red on August. And in September, there's a vacant spot again for blue. So yeah, there is no colorless legendary coming until at the very least October. Oh my god. I wish I was joking. I wish. But I'm not. moving on from that. So, because of those two units, Fjorm being the first, and also have been in a few banners, and Grima also being in banners consistently, and that's going to stay relevant as well for a few months. Plus 10 Grima and plus 10 Fjorms are the most common legendary heroes. They both buff fucking speed. Fuck. And that's another problem, right? Hector cannot get buffed by blessings. Grima can. So as a result, Grima ends up at 27 speed, and unless you're plus 10 as well, you're going to get doubled. But if you're plus 10, you're safe. Unless they run 2 Fjorm or... yeah, 2 Fjorms. Or 2 Grimas. Which is a real thing, by the way. It scores higher. That's dumb? I know. Whatever. And as a result, the best Bane for Hector is HP minus. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say. What? But HP minus means that you're going to get panic deployed. Yeah? But the thing is, you were going to get panic deployed anyway. Hector is 47 HP, which isn't high by any means when it comes down to armored foes. But to add on top of it, you cannot get blessings. The reason why this is a problem, okay, is because as a result you're 3 HP short to begin with. So like, say even if Grima was HP minus, if he's with like Grima female, ironically, and gets the 3 speed, he also gets 3 HP. That makes his HP go back to 48, and he panic deploys your Hector already. So the fact that he's HP minus or neutral HP doesn't matter. You are going to get panic fucked. No matter how you put it. And that holds true for a lot of them. Now, if you're talking outside of Arena, of course, I mean, I'd still go for attack plus HP minus. The difference between HP minus and speed minus is very little. HP minus is just better in high level Arena, but also better overall when it comes down to Hector. Obviously, as a boon, you want to have attack plus. It's a super boon. So, yeah, and you don't want to have res minus. If you have attack plus, death minus, speed minus, or HP minus, you have 175 BST. For those who don't understand how BST works for Arena, think of it this way. It's basically brackets. 170 to 174 BST all score the same. 175 BST to 175 all scores the same. The 175 to 179 is all of a merge of points higher than the other bracket, essentially. If you want to translate that into SP, that's 100 SP. So yeah, it helps you score. But yeah, Hector has a few problems. Axebreaker just breaks his axe as a whole as well. Just want to point that out. If you have like any kind of speed, like even last low tiers of speed, you might actually double this guy with just Axebreaker. Ruby Sword Axebreaker will deal with this guy no problem. And I'm not saying Hector is garbage. This is definitely the second best version of Hector, though the base version does have versatility because he's going to have access to all 3 armats. Why? But and he's definitely the best one score-wise, stats-wise, but also score-wise. But if you're not really looking for score, you'd rather go for LA Hector, which is probably going to come out next month, I want to say. Then again, it's not too sure. Because LA Lilina exists. And on top of LA Lilina, we also have Christmas Lissa that still has yet to be added to there because of reasons. So we might just not see LA Hector next month, but rather in 2 months. Oh, if you already have Lily Hector and just want to use Hector because you find the unit is good, sure, go for it. But if you are free to play and want to save orbs and you already have Lily Hector, there is nothing to see here. Unless, of course, you want to score high in Arena. And another reason why I actually pointed out Grima is, boy oh boy, their stat spread is eerily similar. Same attack, same super boon-in attack, 1 speed difference, 3 def difference, 1 res difference, 1 HP difference. Wow, it's almost like the same character or something. The difference though here is that Grima is a built-in DC weapon, so you can run Steady Breath DC with Bullfighter, which has more implications. He also hits res, and if you're fuck off phone. And if you're if you're fighting in arena, res is going to be way more important. Well, res attacker, okay, people that hits with magic, are going to be way more important in higher tier of arena because there is so many armored units, and none of them really have a lot of res. Sheena is an exception, but she dies because of proc. Unless you run Aether for score, which that's a problem in itself. But oh well, that's just how arena is. But yeah, Grima is just better overall if you want a unit that just deals damage, hits hard. It's basically the same unit but hits res. What can I say? There's really not much else to say. So, moving on to the actual banner. Jesus Christ, I spent 20 minutes on one character. What is this? Alright, so this fucking took forever to make. But, I'm going to start by best color to worst color, in my opinion. Let's start with green, because that's easily the best color. Hector, while being not the best green unit, honestly, I do consider LA Hector to be much better overall. Isn't bad by any stretch, especially if you want to score. That is an insane unit. It's at a point where if you have a +2 of him, he will score about the same as a +10 Shigure, because he's going to buff the score of like everyone else if you put them as fire element by just so much. Yeah. That's stupid as fuck, but whatever. Bravike, Steady Breath Fodder is extremely amazing. Even to this day, he's a really good green axe unit. So I would say maybe keep a spare if you actually want to use him. Myr. Honestly, Myr is one of the best dragons of the game. But the problem is that she's still the worst unit out of all of green. When it comes down to utility, anyway. I'm not saying Myr is bad, Myr is still pretty damn good, but Steady Breath is such a good fodder in general that it's really hard to justify, like, wanting her over him. Now, you can just like the character or whatever, that's completely fine. But I'm just saying, also, yeah, the order they are on the list with the stats is the order of priority I put them in, essentially. But yeah, Myr is still a fantastic unit. She can be extremely versatile, because while Grey Flame is a good weapon, unless you have DC, it's not that great. Not that useful, anyway. But yeah. Moving on to red, which is the second best color. Ike, as usual, is one of the best red of this game. Extremely amazing to grind GHB unit, to grind GHB for HM. Tarja is a close second, and also I've been told, and I realized that afterward, that she is actually able to clear Infernal Robin by herself. It's kinda insane. I can't do that, but I can actually just clear so many more maps than just Tarja. But, yeah, she does need DD3, by the way, for those who are curious. But, yeah, Leaf is the black sheep of this banner. Even on his release, Leaf was like, I don't want to say bad, but not great either. He was S minus. Definitely not awful, but definitely not a unit you'd use over so many good red unit. Ira, especially Carla. Carla just completely shat all over his weapon. Seriously, Leaf got Death +3 on his weapon, and a +7 attack that's very situational and only against certain units. Thanks. Meanwhile, Carla is just 7 attack based on her own speed versus the enemy speed, which is way more common to have, like, more speed than the other. And on top of that, cooldown -1? Like, seriously? What happened, Leaf? You were supposed to be the chosen one! I mean, I know you suck in your own game, but what the fuck is this? No offense, but yeah. Basically, pulling Leaf sucks. As for blue, Ephraim, overall the best unit of the blue pool, easily. Ephraim is a monster with attack plus and orbs buff. He actually hits 70 attack without merges. This is ridiculous. That's just death blow, own cav, his weapon, level 40, attack plus. If you run attack +3 as a seal, then yeah. But, and yeah, I actually never spoke about Ephraim yet on this channel, so I guess I should explain more about him than I usually do for legendaries, since I haven't fully explained his character. But he is a wall breaker, able to hit 70 attack very easily. But more importantly, that means heavy blade is really easy to use. His weapon is absolutely fantastic, lets him double very consistently, especially with the fact that he's a horse unit, so you can actually go out of your way, attack, and then fuck off, completely safe. You can run drag back as well, as an example, to attack and get out of there in time. Another skill, and that's honestly my favorite, is Desperation. Desperation is absolutely broken on this guy, because it synergizes with his weapon. Yeah, his fucking weapon synergizes with this. So he basically hits twice in a row before the enemy hits back, even though he doesn't have the speed to double whatsoever. It's retarded. And the best part about this is if you're running Desperation and Heavy Blade, you can just run Moonbow. The first hit gets it ready, the second hit procs. Even Grima will struggle to actually, like, out-attack you out of the freaking Heavy Blade. And you know how Grima has 35 def, maybe 39 with Steady Breath. Well, Ephraim's 70 attack becomes 56. You do 17, 17. Moonbow itself will increase your damage by roughly 11. That's 45 damage. Why? Why is that a thing? This is a blue against the green. Whatever. Another thing is, you can actually kill Brave Ike with this. Though you might want to run Bonfire instead, because Bonfire you will attack, get hit, and then proc again. If you're in Desperation range, it actually fucks you up, because of Irvan, obviously. But yeah, if you're running, like... If you're running Bonfire and this is your first fight, you're going to hit Desperation range, and you're going to bust Ike's ass. It's ridiculous how much damage you can pull out of this man. Honestly, one of the best legendary hero. It feels so good to say that. God damn it. Because, let's be honest, I've been shitting on legendary hero for the past few months because most of them were kind of awful. But, at least Ephraim is actually one of the best ones. I'd say he's one of the best along with Ike and Guntra, actually. Yeah, Guntra is still really good. I would say Owen kind of outclasses her now, but she's still pretty relevant. I'd say Hector is kind of like in the middle. Like, I don't want to say he's bad, because he's not. He's really not. Like, he can be about Vanguard Ike level, I'd say. But it's just Hector just does his job better. If only this was not an axe armored unit for the millionth time! Ooh! Maybe an infantry Hector would have worked. It's almost like infantry Hector is a thing in FE7. With, you know, Wolf Bale. Anyone? No? Alright. Anyway, with that aneurysm out of the way, Ellie Lynn would be probably your second best bet. She is not fantastic, but she is not awful either. She is our only blue armored unit though, like blue mage armored unit, sorry. So she does have a few sets she can run. Blaural comes to mind. Blaural with wards makes her extremely tanky. Blade could also run, though I honestly don't suggest it. Running Blade in a armored team comp is usually a dead set. Unless you're running tactics with like one armor march. My god. Which is kind of like a more gimmicky team. If you're talking about a full armor team though, just run Owl with wards. It's just so much better. What about Morgan? Well, she is our only blue flyer that is in the normal pool. She doesn't suck, but she's not great either. I'll be completely honest with you. Her speed is lackluster, she has too much points into res, her def is very problematic. You have to buff it to shit if you want to actually tank dragons or DC units. So it can really be problematic. Again, if you like her, unless you really want to go for Ephraim at the same time, and you just sort of get her before Ephraim, I wouldn't really go for her. She's not exactly worth it. Now, colorless. Oh boy, colorless. As usual, Grima, extremely balanced, requires a lot of merges. Done. I've made my peace on her. Enough at this point. Enough is enough. Moving on. Ellie Roy, basically a physical Reinhardt. You can just run Brave Bow with him, and he basically has around the same attack as Reinhardt, only physical. He also has the same very strange bulk Reinhardt has, which can make him tank a blow pretty easily. Which is not bad at all. He's definitely really strong. But the problem is there's so many units that are like resilient to physical strikes, while Reinhardt hits res, which again is not that much of a problem. So yeah, RIP. What can I say? As for Elise, well, boy oh boy, she's still the best offensively. 32-32. You know what's crazy? The fact that 32-32 is still the best offensive line for any healers of this entire game. 32-32, motherfucker. What is this? Like, can we get new healers? Nana was the only new healer, and she was... At least, it just did prove something nice, though. That healers now have 2 passive, which means they have at least something that can be given for fodder in the future. I like that, personally. But, yeah. Elise is not bad, but not great either. It's mostly because her stat spread did not age well. However, if you do get her, speed plus res minus is honestly a best IVs. Because then she at least have average speed. At the very least, she can have access to orbs buffs though, so it can kind of fix a bit of her offense. But yeah, I think that's about it. It's been way too long that I've talked. I do hope this was concise enough and helpful enough. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it there. As usual, Discords will be in the description below, and so will be my Twitch. I only stream on Wednesdays, mostly. Though I started to actually stream on other days for other games. But, yeah. It's gonna be more like once in a while. But yeah. Oh, and if you want to know when I do go live, my Discord is perfect for that. I always notify people whenever I go live. But yeah, this should be enough for the banner. So I'll see you guys later or in the comments. Have a good day.